Well, thank you all for joining us here on Plant Profits. I am your host, Vern Davis, and Plant Profits is fueled by Produce Global People Solutions. Again, thank you for joining us. And I'm really excited today. My next guest is a Marine veteran, a man of service who created a business that focuses on the health and wellness of the customer. He built his business with a heavy focus on providing education and quality CBD products. I wish you all give a warm welcome today. We're going to have a great discussion here on Plant Profits with Stephen Brown. Stephen Brown, like I said, is a Marine veteran. He is the CEO and the co-founder of Nothing But Hemp. Stephen, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's a good morning.
Good morning to you, man. Great. Are you in Minnesota today?
I am. There's snow on the ground. It's 30 degrees.
You feel normal. This is normal.
Yeah, it is normal for here, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it's coming. I'm here, but it's coming down in Indianapolis. But right now we're going to have a really nice day. 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be good.
You're making me jealous.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a good June or July day for you.
That's short weather.
Man, hey, look, first of all, I want to thank you for your service to our country. And we're all better off because of the decision that you made. And I really, really appreciate what you've done for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Pleasure serving the Marine Corps.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I know a lot of Marines, and they're great guys to the person. And so it's very cool to meet you here today. Now, did you grow up in Minnesota? I mean, or did you,
I did not.
What happened there? Okay. Tell me about that.
I grew up in a little town in Massachusetts, right next to Springfield, Massachusetts, the armpit of Massachusetts. And I grew up in a town called Long Meadow. And I've
been to Long Meadow a lot. I used to live in the Boston metropolitan area. Yeah. But you call Springfield the armpit, but I mean, Long Meadow, I mean, you're starting to get to where the Berkshire Mountains are starting to happen for you. Yeah. And it's starting to be a pretty beautiful place, man. I know that place.
Yep, it is. It's really, really pretty.
Uh-huh.
I grew up there. And then when I joined the Marine Corps, actually, afterwards, I lived in the South. So I lived in North Carolina, of course, for a little bit. And then Florida for about 7 years. And then I moved from Florida to Minnesota for work.
Oh, okay. All right, great. So what were you doing? What were you doing when you moved to Minnesota?
Yeah, so when I moved to Minnesota, I actually was in the wireless industry. So I worked for T-Mobile for a long period of time.
Okay.
I was a regional sales director. And then when I moved up here, I actually moved up here to start a business with a guy I met in Florida.
Okay, Florida, okay.
Yeah, so we started a consulting company and, it failed over time, but we ended up picking up some pretty big accounts and we trained retailers on how to sell better to their customers.
Got it. Okay, so that explains a lot. So what drove your decision to go to the Marines?
So I was a troubled kid.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more. When you say a trouble, I mean, we all had moments where we didn't do the right thing. So what are you talking about, a troubled kid?
Oh gosh, I was the kid who ran away from home. I was involved with the wrong crowd.
Okay.
I was the cannabis dealer.
In
high school.
Life kind of makes a circle, man,
Yeah, it does, but now I do it the legal way. And that was a totally different time. But I was actually partying and hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And I was having some troubles at home. I was lucky enough to have a mentor who was my wrestling coach, and he actually I ended up living with him for my junior year, and he kind of cleaned me up. I started acting a completely different way. My grades went up, and I cleaned myself up. And then, my senior year, I'm like, what am I going to do? And so I took a few months off, before I chose to go in the Marine Corps. And one day I was like, you know what? I want to do something for my life. So
Right.
Marines, and that's what happened. So,
and that's great.
It was a good transformation for me. Gave me the discipline I need for my business, especially in CBD. Things are always changing, and in the Marine Corps, things always change very quickly. And so it's, using that same skill set of being able to understand change and being okay with it and being able to adapt quickly.
Yes.
And so that's, the best thing that I could say that I took away from the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I want to continue down that road because, the business you're in now is a tough business, right? I mean, it's. I think it's going to be amazing for you based on everything I've seen, but it's a tough business, and really want to dive into a little bit of how the Marine Corps prepared you for days like this.
Yeah, so. When I first opened up, we were one of the first to market here in Minnesota.
Okay.
And the Farm Bill didn't really pass yet, right?
Right.
The 2018 Farm Bill didn't pass. So when we opened up, we're like, you know what? We're taking a whim here. We could either be shut down really quickly or this is going to be successful. And so what I did is when we first opened up this little kiosk, I started calling the news stations and said, we have some stuff here that looks like marijuana. You should probably check it out. And so they all flocked and came and started having conversations with us. And we grew very quickly because of that. But then, the Minnesota law changed rapidly. And they basically went to an all total THC law, which really kind of
that's kind of weird. That's like taking a left turn. That was different, when that happened. But what in the Marine Corps, what experiences in the Marine Corps actually got you to where when you get a left turn like that out of the blue, that you're okay with going down that road because you can deal with it?
If you get beat up, get up again. I mean, that's really the mentality is you get beat up, get up again, and just keep on pushing through. And that's what they always would teach you is just pushing through, even though it might hurt, might be painful, especially in boot camp.
Yeah.
The Crucible was hell, literally hell.
Okay.
And it really, just taught you, you might be tired. You might not be thinking straight at the time, but as long as you keep on pushing through, you're going to find out a good outcome and you're going to be at the end. So
you kind of readjusted your limits, right? Of where you thought your limitations were.
Yep.
During that whole experience and process.
Absolutely. And, we went through some other hardships in our business too. We, I can't legally talk about it in depth, but we had some really bad things that happened with a member. And so the whole legal system. Yeah. And during that time, our business went through hardship, and then COVID happened.
Well, I'm telling you, COVID has changed. It's kind of interesting. I've seen folks sit back and are still sitting back and not really leaning into this. And then I've seen actually more folks that are running businesses make decisions probably around June that, hey, this is going to be part of what our existence is for a while. It's a bad thing, but we're gonna move through this and do the things that we thought we needed to do before COVID hit. And, the American people is a very resilient group, and things will work out. So I saw that attitude transpire over a couple of months after people were in like a 90-day shock about what was going on in the world and what was going on around them and in their house and their homes and their communities. And I really see the advantages of leaning in if you're in business at the moment.
Yeah. No, it's actually been a really good thing for us. COVID allowed us to really kind of think about our business, where we wanted to go and how we want to change. And it was really funny when we first started our business. I remember being at our kiosk. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to take a break.
Okay.
and then get you there about some of the COVID issues and how things changed. And we're going to take a break, and we'll continue our discussions with Stephen Brown. Stephen Brown is the proud CEO and co-founder of Nothing But Hemp. I am Vern Davis, your host of Plant Profits. Thank you for joining us. Plant Profits is fueled by Prophets Global People Solutions. Thank you.
Plant Profits will return so our sponsors can profit from these messages.
Elevate your everyday with that Shoogies feeling, with the sweet taste of Shoogies. Add a cup of Shoogies to your morning coffee. Ah, how sweet it is. Shoogies infuses cannabis and cane sugar to make it the perfect sweetener with benefits. Make your happy hour happier with a dunk of Shoogies in your drink. Order your Shoogies now at shoogies.com or find it in dispensaries throughout California. Whenever you crave a little sweet, pick up Shoogies, the sweet, sweet take-anywhere treat.
The Plant Profits are back to lead the pursuit of the promised land of plant profit. Only on CannabisRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Vern Davis, your host of Plant Profits, and Plant Profits is fueled by Prophets Global People Solutions. And I'm here today with a proud Marine who is being very successful in building a great business in the cannabis space. His name is Stephen Brown. He is the CEO. He's co-founder of this business called Nothing But Hemp. Now, your business is a retail business, right?
Well, it is.
Okay.
Yes. It's definitely a retail business, but a big portion of our business is actually same-day delivery. So
now, when did that happen?
So, I'm going to fast forward to my first week working in my kiosk when we first opened up, which doesn't exist anymore. We turned it into a regular store.
Okay.
But I was holding a sign, and I remember I called my business partner. I said, "Man, we need to do delivery." And so I actually built on the back of our website a platform for delivery. Never launched it. And then COVID hit, and I had about 10 hours left of dev work to do. And so I did the 10 hours of dev work, and we launched it. And so in March, we launched our same-day delivery as, COVID really started to...
Timing was amazing.
It was just perfect. Just perfect.
Man.
A massive text message blast out to we have about 40,000 customers in our database.
Right.
And we did a massive blast out, and it's really taken off. And so our retail stores, I call them showrooms now, because that's literally what they are. They're first-time customers who want to actually physically see the product, but then after that, they want to, make a purchase online, or they call our call center, and then we offer that same-day delivery right to their doorstep.
Wow, that is something. Now, that has been the e-commerce part of business, especially in the retail space, has really jumped during this COVID piece. And I really believe, as you're saying, that it's going to be a larger moving forward part of the business strategy of these businesses, because they found out it can work and customers like it, right? Yeah. Customers like it. Now, you have beautiful stores. Your stores are absolutely beautiful. And so it's really cool. And you do any virtual tours on your website of your stores, and so people can see before they buy, or is it not quite like that yet?
It's not like that yet. We looked at some technology where we actually have a kind of like a Zoom call with customers that come onto our website. Yes. The only problem was it was just really shoddy.
Yeah. That's the future. Yeah. I think that's coming, because I think what's happening is consumers like not going in a store sometimes. Yeah. And they want to buy, but if you could actually attract them through some type of video and they could literally see the package clearly, right? And they could maybe control some of that navigation as they go through the store or whatever. But I don't know how that's going to work, but I think that's coming.
It's genius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. No, it's been great. And during during COVID too, we ended up creating 8 different brands. We have 60 new SKUs.
Awesome.
And on a business margin standpoint, it's a lot better. And even for our customers, it's even better too, because we now pretty much handpick the genetics that we want inside our products, and that really made a huge difference for us.
Man, that's great. That's great. We're going to get more into that because I really want to understand your model. But I want to talk about this National Defense Authorization Act deal. And you write an article or sponsored or co-wrote an article about that and Trust Vets scenario. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know Trust Vets very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there was an article about updating everyone on the NDAA and where it's at.
Yep. I do remember that article.
Yeah.
Our copywriter, I think, put that together.
Yeah.
So that really was the basis of our copywriter.
Yeah.
That put that together. So actually, personally, for me, I don't know too much basis on that.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So,
okay. No, that was very interesting content. In regards to what's really happening in Minnesota, and then there's this whole area, this gray area in Minnesota that everybody keeps talking about. What does that mean?
Yeah, so gray area. So it's really tough for us as like a retailer, for example. So when it comes down to the total THC, there's no definitive language when it comes down to flower, for example. So if you're a grower, you can only grow, it has to be total 0.3% THC, but there's no definite law for a retailer. So is it Delta 9 or is it total THC? We really don't know. So we take the safe route, and we carry more CBG flower products because we want to make sure that we don't get nipped. We're the largest in the state, and we really don't want to get hit. And then there's that Delta 8 deal that's going on. And so that's really confusing for us, where, Delta 8 and isomer, and it slightly gets you high, but not the same high that you have when you have regular Delta 9 products, regular THC products. And so we contacted the state, and they said, as long as it's derived from hemp, you should be good to go. But then you have the DEA that made an announcement saying, anybody who's selling Delta 8, it's completely illegal. And so it's very confusing for us because we really don't know what's legal, what's not, that's the gray area. It's just like fine line. Do you take the risk or not?
That's interesting because it appears that you guys really kind of pushed through and got the CBD going retail with a lot of uncertainty about, is this possible or not, or do we have the green light? The more I understand about it, it took some brave action to just go forward.
Yeah, it really did, especially when it came down to CBD at first. Yeah. Where I was really the most nervous was actually carrying our first flower product. That's when I got really scared. So we didn't carry flower till the second month of our business. Okay. So, actually having whole flower, out in the open, because it looked just like marijuana. And we thought we were going to be scrutinized. And we did have undercover cops that would come into our stores, ask questions. They're really obvious. They look different. They don't look like they smoke weed. Their eyes are completely white. It's like, clean shaven. Come on, you're a cop.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, is there a lot of competition in Minnesota? Because you're expanding, so you're doing some different things that I want to get into. But is there a lot of competition? Is the consuming the legal environment? People feel very safe going into stores and
people feel safe. We have 142 competitors. So I know a lot.
Wow.
They popped up overnight. So last year around this time is when a lot of these guys came online, but a lot of them are failing. I mean, this is their first go at a business, which out of this one, it's
tough.
It's tough. You can't run Facebook ads. You can't run Google ads. Everything has to be organic when it comes down to search engine optimization. So you have to run the web to get customers to you.
Right.
And you have to have a really clear marketing plan. And you have to actually understand retail too. So a lot of these guys, they got into it for the money portion versus looking at it for, really helping people. That's what I've noticed in this industry. Wow. A lot of people are like, I can make a bunch of money, so I want to get in this industry. And they're not really thinking about the customer at the end of the day.
Well, I found people not even thinking about when they say those words, what that really means. I want to get into this business. I mean, it is a bear. It's tough. And and then you have this other market that is still there. That is a huge competitor that if you're going to be realistic about your business, that market still is setting the tone of what you do in your business. So that illicit market is a very tough competitor, and there's a lot that needs to be done about that. But look, we're going to talk about Nothing But Hemp with Stephen Brown, CEO and co-founder of Nothing But Hemp. In a moment when we get back, I'm Vern Davis, your host of Plant Prophets, and Plant Prophets is fueled by Prophets Global People Solutions. We'll be right back with Stephen Brown.
Plant Prophets will return so our sponsors can profit from these messages.
Hey, take a look at this. They're selling smart pots.
They have pot that can make you smart? Where is it?
Not that kind of pot. Smart pots are the best aeration container to grow your plants. Check this out. This is the original fabric container for faster producing, healthier plants. They're made with a superior fabric that delivers high yields. Plus, smart pots are reusable and sustainable, so you can use them over and over again, no matter if you use them indoor or outdoor.
That's very smart, but how good are they for the environment?
Smart pots are BPA-free and lead-free, so you'll always be able to ensure a pure, clean grow, and they're 100% made in the U.S. Over 28 million smart pots have already been sold, so it seems like a smart investment.
Look for smart pots in close to 2,000 garden centers throughout North America and ask for the original fabric container. Find a store near you or order yours online at smartpots.com.
The Plant Prophets are back to lead the pursuit of the promised land of plant profit. Only on cannabisradio.com.
Welcome back. I'm Vern Davis, your host of Plant Prophets. I'm here today with Stephen Brown. Stephen Brown is a proud Marine veteran who is the CEO and co-founder of Nothing But Hemp. Stephen, I really, how did you meet your partner, and how did you guys decide to just go do it?
So my partner, her name is Eva Droz, and Eva I hired when she was 18 years old in Florida at GNC. And, we ended
That's when you were working at GNC, right?
Yep, when I was working at GNC, and she moved up the ranks. She actually stayed with GNC for about 16 years. Together, we ended up having the most profitable and highest revenue making location for franchise of GNC back in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's right. What was key to that? I mean, what about that experience got you to, I'm sure you're doing some of those things in your own retail outlets. What are some of the things? Now, I don't want you to give away trade secrets if it's going to make your competitors better, but I always say I can tell you what I do, but you still got to do it, right?
You know what? Comes down to execution at the end of the day. I can tell people all day what we do.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they can execute it.
Right.
So, one of the big things that it all comes down to education. So our first week of working for that GNC, this gentleman from Carrot Country, that was the name of our GNC franchise. he was an older gentleman in his 70s, and he handed us this giant book, and he says, you need to read this whole thing so you understand all the different herbs and how it works in the body. So that was number one, was education. So that's our number one too, is we actually put everybody through a certification course on CBD and the endocannabinoid system. Now, I can't name who we work with, but we do go through a certification program. The second part was, how do you read customers and have a conversation with them and open them up so you can actually figure out the best solution for them?
Right.
Then the other piece is that, a customer should walk out with a solution, not just one product. And so that's a big piece. So when someone walks in, we really ask them really detailed questions on, why are they in today? Why do you want to take CBD? Is it for anxiety? What's your level of anxiety?
Right.
How does that affect your life? And then from there, after we ask these questions, we're better able to determine what other people take and then how they can actually take that same product.
So if I come into your store now, I'll get that type of treatment.
Absolutely. And if you call us over the phone, the same exact type of treatment. Now, when you're buying online, it's you're really just kind of researching, the content that we have online to kind of give you better determination. But
so does your chat? You have a chat going online to help me make decisions about my purchase?
We do, and I'm going to tell you, as the CEO of the company, we have to get better at that. That's what we lack. And we have to build in better systems there. That's one part that we have not done very well. But when it comes down to our call center, that is really our bread and butter. Actually, a lot of our customers are older. I would say, above the age of 45 years old, and they want to call, have a conversation. They'll still buy online, but we walk them through that purchase. We walk them through, the question.
And if I call you, I get a certified consultant?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great. Now, how does that compare to your competitors?
So our competitors are usually single off locations that, they do their best. They buy your typical product that's out there, like
you're trying to be nice, Stephen. Come on.
Like your Select or Charlotte's Web.
Come on, man. Hammer them right now. I'm giving you an opportunity to hammer them.
Yeah, I know. I want to be nice to them. I'm not nice in competition, but they just don't really understand the plant. That's what it comes down to. Is they really need to be a little bit more educated about it. They need to understand the terpenes, how that's involved, different cannabinoid profiles and how that works. The difference between a full spectrum and isolate, who needs that, and the reason why, what dosage, all those things. So that's really the difference.
Okay, that's really cool. So what's your strategy? What's your growth strategy?
Our growth strategy, our plan is to open up more distribution centers throughout different cities and do the same day delivery. So we're really, really good at buying media. So buying radio advertisement and buying it at pennies on the dollar, going into a market, having a good message, and then driving it to the call center. And that's really how we work. Our other strength is online. Our Alexa ranking, our authority online is very high. I think our authority score is around a 62. If we look at Amazon, they're around 100, but most CBD stores are around a 5 or a 6.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
So our big focus is really just working on our search engine optimization. We have 3 members that are 40 hours per week that actually work on that. And then we have a sub agency that helps out with some strategy. So really growing online and then growing our same day delivery and working with people through our call center. And of course, getting better at our chat. So.
Yeah, I think that's important, and that's great, man. It sounds like you got this great operation. Where are you located? Where do you have a footprint?
Yep. So our headquarters is in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
And so we have multiple stores here. We have some licensee stores, which so just like a franchise, we're like CrossFit. So we train them in, they buy our products from us, but that we do give them some flexibility where they can actually carry other companies outside of what we carry. But we actually have to vet them first to make sure that they have, all of their lab reports, they're compliant, comes from a licensed lab, all that good stuff.
Right.
And so we have 6 stores here in Minnesota, and then we have 4 stores in Florida.
Okay.
And most of the stores, actually all the stores that we have in Florida are run by minorities, and that's really where I want to go. I'm biracial. My dad's black. My mom's from Chile.
Okay.
And I really want to give an opportunity to black men, black women, and really give them a stepping stone, because we've been hurt the most when it comes down to cannabis laws.
Absolutely.
So,
no, you're absolutely right. I want to wrap it up, but give me the locations what towns and cities are in Florida. So
all Orlando and then Tampa.
Okay. All right, good. Man, that is great. Hey, look, we've spent our time today with a wonderful Marine vet, Stephen Brown. A wonderful story. He's the CEO and co-founder of Nothing But Hemp. It's got a really interesting business model. And Stephen, thank you for being a part of Plant Profits. And you're now a permanent member of Plant Profits. So you're welcome back anytime you want to talk about your business and Nothing But Hemp. And he's growing, and he's going to be very successful. So thank you all for joining us here. Vern Davis, your host of Plant Profits.